Warning, this video will contain spoilers for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. There won't be any ending spoilers, but if you haven't beaten the game, I would highly recommend you do so before watching this video. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is my personal favorite game of all time. Does that mean it's free from glitches? No, not at all. Just like most other games, there are quite a few bugs in it, but this game in particular is definitely one of the most broken games I've ever played. I will be showcasing some of the glitches in the game that I find to be the most interesting and entertaining. First up is probably the most useful and thus most well-known glitch in the game, the Sentry Jump. There are quite a few different variants of it. There's the Grounded Sentry Jump, which is performed by pressing Sentry and upslash with Spirit Edge at the same time. There's the Midair Sentry Jump, which is done by being midair and pressing Sentry, then upslash exactly 3 frames later. Both of these moves can also be performed with Spirit Smash, but the timing is quite a bit different. For a grounded hammer Sentry Jump, you hold up and use Spirit Smash, then press Sentry 23 frames later. If you want to do one midair, you use Spirit Smash upwards again, but this time you press Sentry 18 frames later. Based off of this, it may sound like using Spirit Edge for Sentry Jumps is the way to go because they are a lot quicker, but there is still a reason to use Spirit Smash for them. When performing Sentry Jumps with Spirit Edge, there is only a single frame window to get any useful amount of height out of both versions of it. However, when using Spirit Smash, you have a 5 frame window for grounded and a 4 frame window for aerial Sentry Jumps. Because of this, if you are having trouble pulling off Sentry Jumps with Spirit Edge, you can use Hammer to make them slightly easier to execute. Now for some of the applications of this technique. As you can probably assume, being able to gain very large amounts of height really quickly and just about anywhere is extremely useful. Just for a few examples, you can easily skip grabbing Dash in Quillock's Hollow by Sentry Jumping up to the Spirit Arc Orb. You can skip all of the annoying bubble puzzles in Luma Pools. And you can use Sentry Jumps to skip a good portion of the Wellspring and get grapple earlier than you would normally be able to. In fact, you can actually skip grapple entirely with enough well-performed Sentry Jumps. These are just a few of the uses for Sentry Jumps. There are plenty more that I'll be showing off, so I recommend getting good at the trick to be able to use it in the future. Maybe you can even try it out yourself and see what kind of stuff you'll be able to skip. Next up is Bash Invincibility. To perform this, you are going to need Bash, an enemy near or in water, and you can't have the water breathing ability that you get from Over. All you have to do is to get close enough to the enemy to be able to bash off of it, drown, and then during the drowning animation, you use Bash and hold it until you completely die. Once you respawn, you'll be immune to all sources of damage. Now you may think that this can only be done after you have clean water, but there are actually a few places in the game that always have clean water. Over by where you get Regenerate, you can take the Mantis enemy that is found to the right of the area and bring it over to the water. It is a bit difficult to position the enemy, but by repeatedly bashing upwards and very slightly to the left, you'll get it next to the water. You'll know you've got it when it splashes into the water but doesn't die. After that, it is just a matter of drowning and bashing once again. Now you're invincible before you have clean water, and thus you can swim through places you would normally need water to be clean in to get past. Some applications of this glitch include being able to go to Silent Woods early, making boss fights significantly easier by not being able to get hit, and going into places the game doesn't expect you to be in because they're blocked off by death planes. Something to note when trying out this glitch is that the only things that reset it are using Bash again and reloading your save file. Everything else is allowed, including stuff like backup saves and quick access. In fact, if you wanted to, you could use this in a 1 life run by loading a backup save that takes place before performing the glitch. Another glitch that might prove to be helpful in 1 life runs is Feeding Ground Skip. The goal of the trick is to get past the trigger for the stealth section in that area. To do so easily, you're going to want Double Jump, Dash, and Spirit Edge. What you'll do is jump off the sandball, then use both Double Jump and Dash, then midair downstrike the skeleton, then Dash and Double Jump once more. It isn't the easiest trick to pull off, so remember that you should space out when you use Dash and Double Jump by quite a bit. You're going for distance, so as long as you stay at roughly the same height, you'll be fine. If you fail the trick and want to try again, you'll be able to reload your save to get another attempt. The hard part of the trick is now done. Just climb your way up to the top of the area and you're free to do whatever you want again. Now if you've skipped grapple and made it to here, you're going to have to either perform some Sentry Jumps to get your way up to the top, or you can just do some regular jumps and abuse the little bit of height that you get from Spirit Edge's midair upslash to get past it. As long as you don't step on the bones that trigger the stealth sequence, you no longer have to deal with Shriek in this area. This means you have free access to go to Will's End and beat the game. You will still need to grab Burrow to get through Will's End, and if you don't grab grapple, there are some tough parts on your way to the ability. But it isn't something a few Sentry Jumps can't handle. For an extremely silly glitch, there's the Walk Underwater glitch. For this one, you're going to need a body of water with sand in it and burrow. Now all you have to do is burrow into the corner of the sand and you'll be walking underwater. There are 3 places I know of where this can be done, and those are in the Wellspring Glades, right before the Kolok fight, and in the body of water above where you get the life pack shard. There is an underwater sand area in the Kolok escape sequence, but I can't seem to get it to work. While walking underwater, you will be able to use all of your midair abilities an unlimited number of times, and you also won't be capable of drowning. As far as I know, there isn't any practical application of this glitch, but it is really funny. Now for a more useful but ultimately still pretty useless glitch, feather jumps. So in this game there's a coyote time mechanic, where when you fall off of a platform, there's a very brief period of time where you can perform a regular jump midair, so the game doesn't feel like it's not allowing you to jump when you think you should have. This already can be pretty fun to mess with because you can dash off of a platform, then very quickly perform a jump to do a coyote jump really far away from a platform and still have another midair dash. However, for some reason, there is a way to perform a coyote jump anywhere by using Kuro's feather. If you stand still while holding the feather input, then jump, you will store a coyote jump. Now all you have to do is release the feather button and then immediately after press jump and you'll perform a feather jump. You can also do this while moving, and to do so you jump off the ground and then very soon after press feather and you'll have a feather jump stored again. What's really weird is that it can also be performed out of a burrow by holding the feather button and then dashing out of any sand. This trick is not very useful outside of randomizers and challenge runs because you should normally have double jump before you get Kuro's feather. But getting a bit of extra distance from feather and being able to jump a bit higher might be helpful to skip some things. The Wavedash is a trick that can be used to gain a lot of speed extremely quickly. By dashing into a wall, then turning around and using Regenerate, you'll suddenly start moving very fast. The inputs can be a bit difficult to get, so if you're having trouble, just try doing them all very quickly and remember to turn around and Regenerate at the same time. This can be done on just about any wall that Ori can't use dash to go over, so that gives you many places that it can be done. Something to note is that if you cancel or finish the Regenerate animation, you'll be able to perform a coyote jump. You can use this trick to do things like grab this Gorlek ore in Silent Woods without Kuro's feather and to get into Luna pools without feather. The latter isn't hard to do using just a Sentry Jump, but it is still some kind of use for this technique. The last trick I'll be showing off this time is Grenade Bash. To perform this trick you'll need something to bash off of, Light Burst, Bash, and Grapple. What you're going to do is make sure that you've already used Light Burst midair without landing, then bash off of something, then press and hold Light Burst immediately after you release Bash. If you want to do this trick horizontally and want to go as far as possible, then you're going to have to put the control stick to neutral before you release Bash. Though this trick may seem useful because you get a lot of height, there just isn't any point where you can use that height to skip anything. All this is really useful for is going fast in randomizers, but hey, at least it is hilarious and extremely fun to mess around with. And with that, that is all that I have for this time. I would like to give my thanks to everybody who has shown these glitches off, especially everybody in the Ori speedrunning community. Everybody there has done an excellent job documenting all of these glitches. If you would like to see any corrections made to this video, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to update the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again sometime.